A whole nother part of the project, and a little bit easier, less machine work for sure. He's going to supply me with a wheel, and then I'm going to build the yoke for the wheel, and using this material here, this type of material here, which we have extra of, I'm going to build this vertical with a series of holes in it so he can adjust the height of the wheels. And we're going to make two of those, and so that the tractor tool holder, or the big rectangle that we made, can kind of rest on something as it's rolling along the ground. Now this whole thing, and this is our toolbar right here, this whole thing is going to go inside of this slot here. Now the problem is this size and this size you can't get, at least nothing that's workable. And so what I ended up doing is coming up with a piece of angle iron, pretty stout piece of angle iron, that seemed to fit. Now this can go in there, and we take our other piece of angle iron here, put it on top, and the thing still slides, which is exactly what we want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld these two seams, and then I'm going to cut it in half, and that'll give us about a 3-inch section on each side to work from, and then we'll weld this to the frame and drill holes in this, well, not exactly this piece but another piece, and it should work. So hang in there. We're gonna set it up for welding. Even though you didn't see it get welded because I forgot to turn the camera on, you can see that it is welding. Now I'm going to come back and run another pass on that, because that one's just a bit weak. I mean, it's strong, it just doesn't look that great. So you can see that this piece fits inside of there and slides in and out very nicely with hardly any slop, which is just exactly what we wanted. So let's go ahead and run ourselves a second bead down this, and you can hang in there for that, because it takes just about one whole rod to do that length. Okay, we ready? May as well get this up where we can have it as optimum as possible. Well, the problem with that weld is it's just a little bit cold out today, and my mast fogged up. But I think we got a pretty good weld. Yeah, that, other than a couple of mishaps, it certainly is going to hold. Couple little undercuts right here and there, but not bad. Let's do the other side. We'll see if we can do it without fogging up my helmet. All right, ready? Trying to hold my breath on that one so I didn't fog up the helmet, and it's still fogged up. But we got a pretty good bead anyhow. Alright, we'll let that thing cool off a bit. We got to cut it in half, and then I think what I'll do is machine both ends so we have a nice clean surface to work from. Alright, we'll be back in a minute. Just take that and clean it up so we don't have any sharp edges there. We went over to the grinder and just kind of rounded off the surfaces. Now we've got a sharp edge in here, and I'm just going to hit it real quick with the file. I'm not having to do too much. I just don't want anybody getting cut, and also we need to leave room to get the inner sleeve to slide smoothly. Okay, nice clean edges. Do this side. Nice. Alright, so now what we have to do is we have to drill a hole through both of these sides so we can put a pin in this. And we will do that in a minute. Okay, we got it all ground and all set up and ready to go. It's nice and smooth. There's no rough or sharp edges. It looks like it's ready to go. Now, the problem is, there's no problem, but the next step is that we need to put this in here and drill a 5/8 hole right through the center of it so we can put a pin through that and have the pin run through the shaft at the same time. But if we drill the 5/8 hole, we're going to drill a hole in our vise, like these little holes right here, which I didn't do, by the way. So I'm going to put a couple of little spacers in here, and normally I would use, you know, the regular, well, actually, these are regular spacers. They just happen to be tool bits. So that's going to give me a little bit of height, so when I punch through, I don't hit the vise itself. Now, we're going to bring this up, take the bit out, put a drill head in, and move in that direction. And once I get all set up, we'll come back and I'll show you how I'm going to do this. Here we've got a rectangle, simple. So, and I'm looking for my center point. And the only way we can really find, I mean, you know, we could do a wiggler, we could really find an accurate center point, but again, as I said, this is farm equipment. I'm going to drill an oversized hole. It's going to have a bit of slop to it. So all we really need to do is find the general halfway points. And we're looking at 2 inches 800 thousandths at this point. So 1 inch 400 is going to give us halfway. Scribe my halfway point right in the metal. No, I'm not going to. Yeah, I guess I am. And that doesn't look like halfway though. Yeah, it's halfway. All right, so we've got one direction there, and we have one direction here, which is 3 inches 725. So that'd be 1.5 inches, 350, and 25, which would be 12. So that's about right there. Yep, that looks good. Now, there's our center point, but now I'm just realizing maybe we should, no, that's going to be center. No, this could be off. So I'm going to measure from the inside, and we're going at 245. Looking at it this way, we came in, measured the inside edge, centered that, and put a mark, brought the mark up here, and then took a 90 across to here, and it turns out to be exactly the same place. So we're happy. Now let's center punch that, and then we will be centered. Nice and center. Get back a little further. There we go. So, starting with a centering tool, or a centering bit, and I think we'll just use a drill bit, or a official centering bit, so that we don't have to go down so far, although we're going to have to go down later on anyhow. Tighten it up. Bring us back in. And a little bit here. Coming down. It's just about right. Bring it over a little bit there. And I think we're on the money. Okay, continuing, let's drill our hole, or at least get our hole started. That's pretty good. And we're going to start with a small bit anyhow, because we want to be able to be fairly accurate when we drop down to that bottom hole. So we'll start with what's this look like? A little bit bigger than a quarter. And we're going to speed this up. A little bit of oil. Take her down to the bottom. I just barely made it, but it did make it. Now we're just going to go straight to a 5/8. Well, since we don't have a 41/64, which is the next size up from 5/8, I've decided that it would be just as easy to drill a 5/8, because I have a bunch of those drill bits, and then go ahead and turn the 5/8 piece of stock down so that it's a little bit sloppy in the hole. So that probably will be my best bet. Okay, now we're going to go back to the slow speed. There we go. And at this time, it's lunch. So I'm going to go down to the house, and I'll be back up here in a couple of hours, and we'll see you then.